Hey guys, what's up? It's LJ here. I am here with a video on my wish list for MLB The Show 19's franchise mode. Now, franchise mode, I spend most of my time in the MLB The Show games, and I have a list of things that I'm sure I will add to once this video ends, but I'm gonna get everything I got written down here on this Google Doc out there and try to explain a little bit about how they just need to improve this mode, because they have not done this mode justice over the years, and they just basically need to look at what 2K is doing with their franchise. Every year they're adding more stuff, and they have just been stagnant. So I'm just gonna kick it off right now. But there's no particular order to this in terms of severity. It's just kind of a list of stuff. Some stuff's big, some stuff's small. Number one, mid-season extensions. We've been asking for this for years in the community, to be able to extend our players in the middle of the year. This bullet point also goes along with another one later in terms of financials, but we just want to be able to extend our superstars, or maybe even try to get that guy who just got called up, that young player stud, to see if maybe we can't, persuade him to buy out his arbitration years, a la, Chris Archer, Adam Eaton, and all those guys. Number two, this goes along with that, rework the financial engine, like accurate contracts, because I know Operation Sports does the minor league rosters that everybody should be using, and one of the questions they always get is, oh, do they have real contracts? And I always see that the people who actually do the studying says that it ruins future franchises, like I guess the money or something like that. But so they need to get that reworked. A lot of my points are making this game more immersive, and what will make it more immersive is accurate contracts. Like, it cannot be that hard to rework that, and you just need to get accurate contracts, which will help us, get more engaged, because I have numbers in my head when players sign. I'm like, oh, that sounds about right. Oh, that sounds about, because they'll have like John Lester, who's making $22 million in real life, but in the game he's making like 12. Like, I just don't understand it. But I think we need to rework the financial engine, or they need to rework it. Number three, owner urgency for pushing for playoffs and World Series titles. So like, I would like an owner, if you're a team that maybe was a fringe playoff team, or you're overperforming, kind of like the A's did back in, oh boy, it was a while ago because I'm a Cubs fan. It was when they traded for Samardzija and Hamill, and they traded for Lester. Like, Billy Beane and them knew that this is our time to make a move. So then Billy Beane got the okay to go after all these players and everything. And I want that. I want that in MLB The Show. I want to get a message from my owner saying, hey, you have my permission to go above a certain amount. He'll give us a little bit more in cap and payroll flexibility. Go out and get me this guy who's on the trade block. I think the trade block will be more accurate instead of just kind of going out and getting whoever the hell you want. Go out and get this guy that's on the trade block. I think he'd really benefit our team. I know he's making a lot of money, but I'm willing to pay that extra money because I really want to get this team into the playoffs and make a push. I think owner urgency would be a good one. Number four, I think it'd be kind of cool. It's a little broadcast and production little thing, but rehab assignments for players who miss more than 10 days on the DL. I just think they could just kind of show that as like in the pregame of a game, or during the game in between innings, show a pitcher who has been on the DL for over 10 days that he throwing a bullpen session with like the pitching coach and manager next to him, watching them shaking their heads like, oh, good. I think that'd be kind of cool. The announcers say something like, oh, John Lester has been on the DL with that shoulder injury. He's through a successful bullpen session today, and he's looking to return sometime soon. I think that would add to the immersion of the game, and it'd be kind of cool to see my player that, I was super bummed in my franchise that I lost because MLB 17, the show, Wilson Contreras got hurt, and he got hurt in like week 4 or like game 4 of the year, and I lost him all year. And it would have been nice to maybe kind of see the guy, every once in a while, like, oh, I know, like, doesn't really matter, but it would just help me be like, oh, there he is, he's doing his job and trying to get back, and I think that'd be really cool. Next, we got in between pitches, like a farm system update, a spotlight a top prospect's good game or something like that. I know when I watch a lot of Cubs games, they'll do like down on the farm, and they'll show you like a good start from a pitcher, like a good performance from a pitcher on the left side of the screen, and then on the right it'll show you the batting line from a batter. I think that'd be kind of cool. Just a short little thing, another immersion thing, just kind of let me know what's going down in the minor league systems. After that, I think they should have a top 10 prospect list for each team. I think that'd be kind of cool to see, maybe for people who don't know too much about minor league players and stuff like that. When the rosters come out, they can maybe go to a screen that they already have a top prospect screen. They can just keep that, the top overall prospect, and then just have it sortable with like R2 and L2 or right trigger and left trigger for team's top prospects. But like, well, maybe I traded for this guy, but I never looked to see if he's actually a top guy. And then they can go in there and see, oh, hey, he was their 5th ranked guy, and see where he ranks in yours now. Another thing, the next point would be, I think it would be nice to have the possibility to have a 6-man rotation option in the rotation menu. I think this would be good for a multitude of reasons. I mean, I see now, again, you're gonna hear me talk about the Cubs a lot because I know them well. They're my favorite team, but they're going with a 6-man rotation for a while, and I think it would be nice to be able to do that, which literally would just, you know, hit a button in the rotation and switch between 5-man and 6-man rotation, and then just add that 6th guy in there. Maybe to give your guys some rest or something like that if you got a long road trip coming up, or just a long list of straight games. The small one, just a small one there, but I think that would be nice. Next, I got international free agents. This is a big one that I want. There's 2 spots where you would have this happen. Around the draft, I would like there to be an international free agent signing. You have a certain amount of money, like $3 million, like an out-of-the-park baseball. $3 million that you can spend on players, and if you go over that, then you need to get, then I want the game to punish you by taking that from your cap. This could be huge. The Cubs did this when they signed. They just said, screw the penalties, we'll take the 100% tax on our penalties on our spending. They signed Eloy Jimenez and Gleyber Torres. Well, that panned out pretty well because they used both of them to get key players, and they are both very good players. I think that would be nice, and that goes with my next point, which is like a 5-man international complex, which would be like 16 to 18-year-olds that you would sign during that period of time. And they just sit there, if they're from when they're age 16 to 18 season, or at least 16 to 17, because I know some 18-year-olds do play in regular, but 16 to 17-year-olds, I think they should stay in there, and they just kind of, it's kind of like Class A right now in the game, where they just kind of develop. And I mean, they're very raw, obviously, you know, like probably 35, 40 overall. Like, they're very young, but, you know, high potentials possibly. I think that would be nice to have an international complex. Next, I would like to have the option within like the menus and the franchise mode to change a player's primary position. I know you can go in and do it yourself and mess with it, but I think it would be more realistic and immersive if I like, let's say if I do it during the off season, the player could probably make the change more smoothly than if I tried to do this during the year. Now what this means is, like, if I want to try and I have a reliever who has like maybe a stamina of 40 or 50, I think that they might be able to start. I would like to go into this menu and commit to them learning how to be a starting pitcher. During the season, I think that would require you to send them down for a while, for maybe a week, and then call them back up, or 2 weeks to stretch them out. And if you do it in the off season, it will obviously, basically this changing your positions will help you if you do it during the off season, because there's months and months and months of time to do it. If you do it in the off season with the pitcher, then they would be a long time to get stretched out and get ready for that starting position. As far as position players go, they can switch position a little more easily. Depends on where they're going. Unless you're like Hanley Ramirez and they throw you out in left field. But that's mostly for pitching. I want to be able to stretch out a starting pitcher or a reliever, or I could move a starting pitcher to the bullpen. I think that would be kind of cool and more realistic. Next point would be custom draft classes. I think it would be nice to, just like all games now, because Madden's got it, to have like a custom draft classes, because I know OSFM, the Operation Sports Full Minor League guys, you know, Ryden and all them, I know that they would love to be able to do custom draft classes with real people, because you can always change names and stuff in the off season, but it would be nice to have like an actual full draft class. within reason, because there's 7 rounds, you know, and plus supplemental rounds to a lot of players, but I know that they would be willing to do it. Next point, I want to be able to pay or receive cash in trades. You see this a lot with like players who are getting paid way too much, like Matt Kemp. He got traded to the Dodgers from the Braves, or no, it was the Braves. Yeah, he went from the Padres, who paid him a crap ton of money, and then the Padres traded him to the Braves, and I believe the Padres picked up like 80% of his contract to try and get a better return on him. It's a small thing, but I think it would be really nice to be able to move those bigger contracts in the game. Yeah, just to be able to receive cash in trades, basically. I would just restrict it to just trades, though, not like trading a minor league player for money or something like that. I don't think that would be abused too much. Next point, I want mentorship for younger players. 2K, I see, is doing this with 2K19. It's not out yet as of recording this, but like a player who's 25 or younger, less than an 80 overall, that's key, because an 80 overall doesn't really need too much mentoring. A player that's 25 or younger, that's less than 80 overall, can receive a potential boost from a player with at least 6 years of experience. A player that has at least played enough to where they could have been a free agent, that's been in the league for 6 years. I think that would be kind of cool. Just another immersion thing. You know, people take players underneath their wings in every sport. Older players do, so I think that would be kind of cool. Next, these are almost, next 3 are kind of all related, but expansion teams, relocate the teams, and jersey designer. Expansion team, I think it would be great to just be able to expand the league. 2K does it great. I think it would be awesome to be able to, you know, take that team back to Montreal or something like that. That would be really cool. Relocate team. I would like to relocate teams. You know, it's pretty simple. I mean, be able to build a ballpark for the team and everything. That would be great. And jersey designer, which doesn't necessarily have to be expansion or relocate teams. I think jersey design would be great, just to kind of, you know, change it up a bit. You know, there's a lot of creative people in the community that like to create jerseys and stuff like that. I think it would be really cool to be able to maybe like, oh, I'm tired of this jersey, or not even so much tired of it, and be able to make an alternate. You know, if I'm the Cubs, maybe I want to keep the pinstripes. You kidding me? That's awesome. But maybe I want to create, like, you know, kind of like the weekend jerseys, players weekend jerseys that they have. It's something cool and more like a modern version. Last, and I'm sure I will think of more things, but for this video, better trade logic. We've been asking for this for years, but no instant trading players that were just acquired. God, I can't tell you how many times I've seen like Xander Bogaerts signs a 6-year deal with the Dodgers. Oh, cool, awesome. And then 2-3 weeks later, Dodgers trade Xander Bogaerts back to the Red Sox or something like that. It's like, that would never happen in real life. 2K just does a great job with their franchise. I just love the way they do everything. I just feel like there's no ridiculous trades. Oh, the other part of the better trade logic that 2K has, I want the ability to be able to deny or approve a CPU trade. That whole point here, better trade logic, no instant trading players, that would be solved by letting me decide who gets traded. No, that trade makes no sense. Like, I would never allow that. Give me that option, please, Sony San Diego. Give us that option. Give us that option to be able to shut it down and just no, I don't want this trade to happen. It doesn't make any sense. No team would actually make that trade, and that's what I want. That's my list so far. I'm sure I'm gonna think of a ton more. Maybe if I think of a bunch more, I'll make another video, part 2 or something like that. But like I said, I love franchise mode. Sony San Diego, please do an overhaul to this. We deserve it. All of us that are so dedicated to franchise mode, I love building teams. We deserve to have some features added to it. That's all I got today, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.